My name again is Dr. Christopher Inumole. I believe we have been having a wonderful time with the online class, despite the fact that in some occasion we might have network issue and network challenge. But I want to believe that we are trying our best as students and school to see that we are still engaged and the program is not totally disrupted. So that we want to thank God for. And we'll be looking at chapter 4 of the class. Will be a little bit fast and I'll be taking two chapters today, lean operations chapter 4 and lean operation chapter 4, and chapter 5, business process engineering, and if possible chapter 6. Why? Because we are a little bit behind. I've really taken my time to explain what strategy is, what operation is, what management is. And I believe if you guys have been following, the other part of the chapter is just an addendum to everything that we have learned. And again, you must understand that your exams will be starting very, very soon, in 3 weeks or 2 to 3 weeks from now. Very soon, your timetable will be released, and we will be spacing the exams so that you guys can also have time to read your materials. We are going to be sending you guys the link to all the materials that have been used to lecture online. Note that the assignment given is 35 marks, and those who submitted late would not be considered. I can see some people submitting the assignment just this morning. It will not be considered. The deadline, yes, before class, but submitting an assignment on the same day of the class is not good. If you complain of network, then how come network is now working it the same day? So we will not, it's not just about the knowledge, it's about the attitude. So let us do what we need to so that we don't miss out from our exam. Let's read our books, study, take your assignment serious. So lean operation, that is where we are today, and I want you guys to move with me. Three key elements of lean operation are eliminate waste, involve people, and continuous improvement. Three key elements of lean operation is what? Eliminate waste, involve people, and continuous operation. Let's look at this piece. The term lean was first used by John Frackick in the article Triumph of Lean Production System, which appeared in 1988. This paper found that productivity and quality level in car assembly plants was not determined by the assembly plant location. However, plants that operated with lean operation policy, whereby we are able to manufacture a wide range of models, yet maintain high level of quality and productivity. So the term lean approach aimed to meet demand instantly, deliver perfect quality, and eliminate waste. So that is what we said. Three key elements of lean operations are eliminate waste, doesn't want to have so much waste. Involve people, you must involve. Is a bottom to top approach. Management of today should be from the staff tells the management how to drive the company. It's not the other way around. And continuous improvement. So let's look at eliminate waste now. Waste are considered as any activity which does not add value to the operation. Now, something might be waste to a company and still useful to another. See, some companies waste some another company raw material. So waste is what does not have value to that operation. It's not what is totally waste. So let's look at 7 waste. The priority should be to avoid this waste. Only then to cut. But we have overproduction. Overproduction is a formation of waste when you overproduce what is needed. Wasting, need to keep a new material, wasting material. Unnecessary motion is also waste. Ergonomics and layout. Ergonomics is the pattern with which a workplace is designed. So unnecessary movement or motion is waste. If you're supposed to take a step to finish a process and you're taking 3 steps for that same process, it's waste. It's a waste of time, waste of energy. So when we measure waste here, we're not just talking about material waste now. Waste of energy, waste of time, resources waste, transportation, unnecessary movement, processing, too much capacity in one machine instead of number of smaller ones. You see, so lean operation is just like what you have your when the computer was produced. We used to have the first what's the memory card is as big as a room. Now we now have it microchip now. SIM card are now microchip. They still perform the same thing, yet you have been able to eliminate so many ways. So lean operation. It might be miniature, yet you are producing better. Are we getting it? So we need to understand this. Inventory, raw material, work in progress. When you talk about work in progress, you only keep what you need. Inventory, you don't keep excessively stock in time. Work in progress and finished goods. Defects. Cost of defects tend to escalate the longer and then remain undetected. The seven service customer waste can be basis of an improvement program. Let's look at it. The seven. Delay on the part of customer waiting for service. For example, there's some fast food I don't want to call in. They have a waiting time period. A customer must not wait more than 3 minutes before his order is given. If a customer wait more than 3 minutes, then the customer service person is doing what is wrong. So the operation is designed in a way that every customer is attended to in 3 minutes because they have so many waiting on the queue. Even in banks too, a teller must attend to a particular customer in no more than 5 minutes. Some banks have this timing. Some do not meet up. There are reasons for not meeting up. So we have to look at them together. Duplication. Having to re-enter data repeatedly is a waste of customer service. So one simple process should capture everything. Duplication. When a customer submits his email, he should not be asked to submit email in another department. That email should be able to distribute across. So a system must be designed to capture data and redistribute it without duplication here. Unnecessary movement. Queuing several times. Poor ergonomics. Remember, I explained what ergonomics is. I said ergonomics is what? Is the pattern with which a workplace is designed. Your seat, the way your seat is designed. Ergonomics. Ergonomics. So sometimes you see people now have chairs that are adjustable. Why? Because the pattern with which your workplace is designed to a large extent help towards to achieve work faster or not. Also have an impact on your health. That's why you see some MD who sit too long. After some time, they develop what? Back pain, waist pain, because they are sitting too long. So now for economic purpose, we now have adjustable chairs. When you sit too long, you can adjust it back. You can adjust it to the side. Why? To help you work better and to reduce negative impact or occupational health impact on your health. Unclear communication and waste of seeking clarification is another waste. Incorrect inventory, stock out of stock. These are unnecessary waste. Opportunity lost to retain or win a customer is a big waste. Error in service transaction is a big waste. Error in service transaction can even lead a company to bankruptcy. So it's important we consider these 7 customer care wastes and note them carefully. Note them what? Carefully. Involvement of everyone. Remember, we have spoken about waste now. We're now looking at involvement of everyone. Some company view the lean operation as consisting almost extensive of waste elimination. Extensive of waste elimination. However, effective waste elimination is best achieved through change of what? Staff behavior. Some staff by themselves are wasteful. For example, now an interview was conducted, and those people who were supposed to be recruited were placed in a waiting room, a boardroom. and somebody met them and said, please, you guys, while you are waiting, you can use the coffee. We have the coffee and the water. We have the disposable cup. You can make use of the disposable cup anytime you want to drink water. So, and they were already there. They were CCTV in the watching them. You know what they were trying to do? They want to know how many waste each of those persons that came for interview will generate while sitting down. So at the time, they all stood up to take water. They drank. They left them there for 45 minutes. Some other person were thirsty again. They stood up. Some took the same cup that they used initially. They took it back to take another water. While some threw away that disposable cup and used another cup. As a matter of fact, some people who came for interview at that point, some used about 6 disposable cups within 4 hours of their wait. While some used just one, while some used 2. And that was the interview. Staff behavior that does not encourage lean operations now because they are wasteful. So that alone tells you how such stuff. So behavior is very key now. Lean aim to create a new culture in which all employees are encouraged to contribute to improvement efforts through generating ideas. Staff must generate ideas. Staff must talk. Like I said, it's a top bottom to top methodology now, where staff, the decision is from management, but what direction is from staff to management. Let's look at continuous improvement. These are the 3 things. Waste. Second is what? Second is what? Involvement of everyone. And third is what? Continuous improvement. Continuous improvement or Kaizen. If you hear the word Kaizen in the exam question, you should know what I mean. The Japanese term is a philosophy which believes that it is possible to get to the idea of lean by a continuous stream of what? Improvement over time. Continuous improvement is needed because customer views are continuously changing and standards are rising. Kaizen is about moving tacit knowledge to explicit knowledge. What is tacit knowledge? Know-how based on years of experience, but may not be written down. Explicit is what? Written down in principle and procedure. Tacit knowledge is experience in the brain, in the head, but is not written down as a procedure. But explicit is that knowledge that is written down as procedure because it's not easy to impact. Continuous improvement. You are always looking at review, going back to what has happened, and wanting to what? To continuously. Let's look at CI. Continuous improvement CI enables idea held tacitly to be what? Implicitly incorporated by the organization. Principle of implementing a continuous improvement effort includes, I may ask you, briefly explain the principle of implementing a continuous improvement. That may be a question. Create a mindset for improvement. Number 1, do not accept that the present way of doing things is the best. There's always an improvement. This is one of the biggest issues with the black man. Continuous improvement. We have a mindset that we know more than any other person. That is why we are not growing the way we should. Try and try again. Don't give up. Consistency now. Don't seek immediate perfection. It can never happen. Keep improving. Think. Think is different from being worried. For effective thinking, your mind must be in its balanced frame. Many people think, they are not thinking. They rather die than to think. Thinking is critical work. We call it critical work. Thinking gets to the real cause of the problem. Why? 5 times. Why? When? How? What? These are answers to solving problem. Aristotle said, the beginning of knowledge starts with the question why. Even a monkey knows what we know, but the only thing is that it might not know why, to the knowledge he knows. So many of us need to ask why. Why are we short? Why are we tall? Why is that man yellow? When you start asking why, that is the beginning of knowledge. Let me give you a short story why I move on. A village, they do not eat a particular fish that is longer or larger than, let's say, that is longer and larger than 500 centimeter. Once a fish is longer than, let's say, 100 centimeter, they don't eat it. They throw it away. That has been the tradition in that village. Any fish longer than 100 centimeter is thrown away. So everybody believes it. From generation to generation, they believe it. They believe it rather. They were throwing it away until a boy now asked a question. He asked his father, he said, why is it that we don't eat a fish that is longer than 100 centimeter? And his father said, wow, the truth is, I don't know why, but that has been the tradition. There's no need for you to ask why. Just obey it. But this boy was curious, and he traveled to the village and he asked his grandfather, my father, this question: why is it that we don't eat fish that is longer than 100 centimeters? But my father could not answer me. Then the grandfather said, wow, you are a very intelligent boy. Well, the grandfather told him the story that long time ago in the village, they had before the invention of pots, they have their own pot. Their own pot is a very small pot. So because they never had knife, so when they go fishing, they hunt for smaller fish so that this fish can size the pot. So any fish that is bigger than what the pot can take, they throw it away. So that is the reason why. Many of us today still live in the belief of things we do that are wrong, yet we've not asked why. When we ask why, we might know them. The boy say, wow, but now we now have knife. We can split it into pieces and eat it. So think. Next is work in team. Use the idea from a number of people to brainstorm. Work in team. Teamwork. Recognize that improvement knows no limits. Improvement knows no limits. One of the most innovative company ever is Apple. Every second they're improving. You have voice recognition app. You have face recognition app. Technology is dynamic and is superb. Why? Improvement has no limits. So we're going to be looking at implementing lean. As stated earlier, lean approach aims to meet demand instantly, deliver perfect quality, and eliminate waste in all its forms. One of the ways it does this is through replacing a traditionally push production system with a pull production system, sometimes called lean synchronization. Let's go back. One of the ways it does this is by through replacing the traditional push production system with a pull production system. You can see we have the traditional push is employers push. You must do this, do that. But now pull, staff are involved, everybody is involved. This is how to implement. What is push production system? Let's look at it. In a push production system, a sequence pushes work onto machine, which is then passed through. This is the mechanized explanation now. At each stage, a buffer stock is kept to ensure that if any production stage fails, then the sequence production will not be starved of material. The higher the buffer stock kept at each stage of line, the more disruption can occur without production line being altered. Advantage of push production system. Buffer insulation insulates stage against disruption. You keep more inventories so that when one is hot, you can replace and operation continue. Operation continues. Disadvantage, because buffer insulates system from problem, the problem are not visible, so no one takes responsibility for fixing it. Buffer stock leads to high inventory and slower lead time. Production is not connected to demand in a pull system. In a pull system, the process starts by an order for the finished product, a car. Production is not connected to demand in a pull system. In a pull system, the process starts by what? Order, a car. Aeroplane can be ordered, then it is now manufactured. Advantage, no buffer, so problem visible. You can see the difference between pull system and push system. Very important. You also note the advantages and disadvantages, which I'll be skipping, and I want you guys to go through it. It's self-explanatory. Let's look at setup reduction, which is one of the aim for lean operation. Setup reduction. We want to miniaturize minimization of production system. In order to operate with a small batch size required by lean, it is necessary to reduce setup time. You can see, even to open an email now on Google, maybe 2 or 3 steps. Customers are lazy. They don't want so many processes. You have to develop a lazy system for you to attract more customers. Lean system now. So, in order to operate with a small batch size required by lean, it is necessary to reduce setup time. Setup time. It is what necessary to reduce setup time. So I need to be a little bit fast. Let's look at total prevention maintenance. Very, very key aspect of lean operation. Total prevention or preventative maintenance. Anyone? This anticipates equipment failure. When you talk about to prevent is what? Is a proactive, it's not a reactive. Proactive means that before the accident or breakdown occur, you are maintaining. For example, those guys that maintain your AC, remove the filter to clean up the ducts. They don't wait for the AC to break down. That is a preventive maintenance. TPM includes the following: regular maintenance, periodic inspection, preventive repair. You can see them. Then we are happy to finish chapter 4, lean operation. I believe you guys understand it very well. So we'll be going to chapter 5, business process re-engineering. After this class, we have just one more class. The last class will be on Saturday, on Sunday next week, where we will be looking at the final of this. Hello? I'll call you back. I'm in a class. So let's look at business process re-engineering. Defined by Hammer and Champy, the fundamental rethinking and radical redesign of business process to achieve dramatic improvement in critical contemporary measures of performance such as cost, quality, service, and speed. Process re-engineering is what is the fundamental rethinking and radical redesign of business process to achieve what? Drastical or dramatic improvement in critical areas, contemporary measures of performance such as cost, quality, service, and speed. What does this definition mean? Fundamental rethinking, re-engineering usually refer to the changing of what significant business processes. Radical redesign involves a complete rethinking about the new way to do business, dramatic improvement, tens of hundreds of percent improvement, critical contemporary measures of performance, process measure based on competitive factors like cost, quality, service, and speed. re-engineering, redesign. Advantage of functional structure. Create a pool of expertise which can serve a number of areas to help develop career in a particular field. Disadvantage of functional structure. Focus of work can be functional boss rather than the customer. No one take overall responsibility for overall process. Tasks may be undertaken for internal functional reasons rather than overall business strategy. Implementing business process redesign. How do you implement? The task of designing process should be undertaken in a structured manner, and the step involved can be described as: 1. Identifying and documenting the process activity. Identifying process for improvement, evaluating process design alternatives. Let's look at the first one: identifying and documenting the process activity. This involves data collection exercise using methods such as examination of current documentation, interviews, and observation. What is the current situation of things? Number 2, identifying process for improvement. Where do we need to improve? Relevant business process for improvement can be undertaken using a scoring system in which prioritization is governed by importance to customer and performance against competitor. You have to look at it. Where do we need to improve as it relates to improvement of functions as affect customer and what competitors to improve against? Number 3, evaluating process design alternatives. Alternatives. There are many ways in which a process can be redesigned to meet particular objectives. So it is necessary to generate a range of innovative solutions for evaluation. Once you start working with a team that is not thinking, then you cannot achieve this. We talk about critical thinking now. Number 1 assignment. I want to add critical thinking assignment here because I want to help you to think. Number 1 assignment. You're going to be submitting the assignment to. I'll give you guys the email address. Where this assignment. I'm giving you guys critical thinking assignment. I believe you can all see this. Number 1, mention 50 ways you can remove a bulb from a lamp holder without touching it. Number 1 question, mention 50 ways you can remove a bulb from a lamp holder without touching it. Number 1, 50 must be 50. If it is not 5, don't stop at 20. You must give me the whole 50. Number 2, just 2 questions. Explain how you will drive a car from Lagos to Kaduna in 1 hour. Submit answer to uniquefoundation@gmail.com. Okay, let me in 1 hour and utilize 5 liters of fuel. So this is the assignment. Number 1 is mention 50 ways. Yomi, I believe you guys can see it. Can you guys see my question? Can you see my screen? Can you guys see my screen?
Sir.
I don't know if Yomi is here.
We can see, yes, sir. I'm answering you, sir.
Okay. So number 1 question is what? Mention 50 ways you can remove a bulb from a lamp holder without touching it. Without touching it. Meaning without touching both bulb and lamp holder. Without touching both of them. Number 2, explain how you will drive a car from Lagos to Kaduna in 1 hour and utilize 5 liters of fuel in that journey. Say it's not possible. If you say it's not possible, then you don't want to think. Critical words. This is a critical thinking assignment, and you must submit it. Imagine if this if this question is part of your exam. You might be surprised that you guys might have 1 or 2 critical thinking questions in your exam. Don't be surprised, because when we talk about strategic management and you don't want to think, then we've not started. We have not started. Let me continue now. I believe we've written that. Generate a new design through brainstorming. I want to have a class that can think. This approach offers the greater scope for radical improvement to process design but represents a risk in the implementation of a total new approach. I want to check how many minutes I have left. I have 5 minutes left. So redesign, we should look at that. So let's quickly look at chapter 6. I'll be stopping at chapter 6 today, so that when we meet, chapter 7 is quality. I will touch quality when we meet next time. I want to believe that most of you guys, I will talk agile operation. The 2, then we have project management also. So I want you guys to take chapter 9 yourself, project management, because it's similar to what you are doing in your project management class. So I might not. So I'm going to be stopping the class next week when we meet at agile operations, and that will be the end of the class. Before we now give you guys your revision, you read up, then you prepare for your exam. This course will be tough. The exam will be highly critical, because you guys, I can even make the exam open book exam, but you will not see anything in your book, because you have to think to answer it. So it's not just by opening your book or writing a book. You can even pass more by not holding your book, because you have more time to think and answer, because the time you'll be using to scroll through your book, you're already wasting time. So enterprise resources planning, ERP. Look at the word enterprise resources planning. Enterprise resources planning is an information system that aims to manage the large amount of data in an organization. Resources planning. ERP integrates sales, order, inventory, manufacturing, and customer service activities. ERP system provides software database, procedure, and job description for organization-wide process. The characteristics of ERP are: provide a cross-functional process view of the organization. ERP applications include a set of inherent processes for all organizational activities. Generally, organizations must adopt their processes So the blueprint, although it may be possible to adopt ERP software to organizational procedure, ERP stores information in a centralized what? Database. The history of ERP, you guys would, I will leave you guys to read the history when you download the material. Manufacturing requirements planning. MRP can calculate the requirements for components manufacturer needed to produce. And so manufacturing requirement planning is for manufacturing. So we start with master production schedule, bill of material, inventory status file. Master production schedule, you can see master production schedule is a plan for the quality, quantity, and timing of when orders are required. Bill of material identifies all the components required to produce a scheduled quantity of an assemble and the structure of how components fit together to make the assemble. BOM. Inventory status file. Inventory status file. Inventory status file provides information on the identification and quantity of items in the stock available. MRP calculation. MRP reports. I wouldn't want to disturb myself with this. I would like you guys to read up this end chapter. I'm going to be ending here for today. Please, my assignment must be submitted before Wednesday next week, not on Saturday. Before Wednesday next week, let us kindly submit our assignments. Let me look at, if you have any question, just chat. You have a chat button. You can type there, and I'm going to see it and I'll attend to your question. So please, let's submit the attendance so that no attendance. We have the attendance already. Submit your question so that I'm talking about your question. Submit your assignments. Sorry, so that by next week we can finish up to 2 topics left, and you guys prepare for your exam. I want to wish you guys the best. Prepare for your exam. Make sure that you make all necessary payments so that you can have access to the material. I'm not talking about, the material is free. You are not going to pay for my material or any material. But as a student, you have payments to make for your administrative and for everything so that we can effectively plan and have your exam done successfully. Thank you all. God bless you. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.